General Motors rejects Unifor's proposals to keep the plant in Oshawa open. Workers at the General Motors plant in Oshawa conduct another sit-in. We can start with General Motors rejecting the Unifor proposal to keep the Oshawa plant open. Unifor presented the automaker General Motors with a number of options to keep the plant in Oshawa open. This was last month. And in a statement, General Motors said, unfortunately, all Unifor's proposals would involve substantial incremental costs and a further deterioration of General Motors' competitive position. Now, before I go any further, let me just say that while I commend, and I say that without any reservation, that I commend Unifor and the unions' ability to stand up and do something for the workers of General Motors and the people of Oshawa and the Durham region, and I stand with them. I support what they're doing. I support the work that they're doing. I think that it's the government that should be bending over backwards to try and keep General Motors the hell where they are. Keep them to stay put, whether it's trying to lower the cost, because let's put it this way. The government has the real power here. They have the power to ease some of the financial burdens for General Motors. They have the power to make sure that if General Motors does leave for Mexico, they can fine every single General Motors car that comes in here and threaten General Motors General Motors Canada with financial consequences if they do leave. They have the power to nationalize General Motors Canada and fire all those executives who have taken money from the people of Canada and have not done a good job with their books, and get people in who will get the job done and who won't leave for Mexico and then re-privatize the business. The government has the power to do this. They are the ones who should be bending over backwards, but they're not doing anything, the federal and the provincial. It's almost like they're accepting this. GM says they are ready to discuss support and transition packages for workers. Diaz held a press conference after the meeting in Detroit, and although things looked bleak, he remained optimistic. Hold on, we're not backing down. Now, Diaz, I believe, is the union boss or the union member who is trying to get all of this going. He's the one who's standing up, who's trying to deal with General Motors. He's doing the job that the federal government should be doing. He also called on the federal and provincial governments to take action, saying, I'm not accepting that the door is shut, and neither should our governments. Right on, Diaz. Right on. Arana Nation stands proudly with you. 100%. That article was from Durham Radio News. Now to the National Post, where they have now uncovered that workers at the GM's Oshawa plant have stopped working in protest over planned closures. Right on, Arana Nation supports the workers of General Motors. Arana Nation stands in solidarity with those workers. Don't do another speck of work. And that goes for the workers in St. Catharines as well. We need to punish GM Canada for their decision, and we need to punish the federal governments for making this decision happen in the first place, because they have the power to stop this, but they're just choosing not to do anything. Unionized workers at General Motors assembly plant in Oshawa, Ontario are holding another sit-down protest over the planned closure of the facility. The union confirmed the work stoppage this morning following an earlier protest on Tuesday. An economic analysis released by Unifor estimates a closure of the plant by the end of 2020 will result in 14,000 fewer jobs in Ontario, 10,000 fewer jobs outside the province by 2025, compared with keeping the assembly plant open. You know, folks, patriots, fellow comrades, Ontario is my home. And when this stuff happens, it really, really angers me. And I can tell you that I feel the pain of the people in Alberta who they go, oh, look, the people of Alberta, they're going through this every day, every month. I mean, this is something that happens daily in Alberta with the oil sector. You know, you got foreign oil companies coming into Alberta, taking Alberta's resources and making money off of it. But when they get the opportunity to make more money, they abandon the people of it. It's the same thing this foreign company is doing to Ontario. And we should all think of this as being Canadians, not just Ontario, Alberta, or whatever. This affects every one of us. So, enough of this. We all basically get the gist of what's happening. The people of the Durham region, my home region, the people of Oshawa, my hometown, they're not putting up with this. They're saying no. We have bent over backwards. We have worked our fingers to the bone for this company, and we're not going to allow them to abuse us like this. This is the new Canada here. This is the new Canada, the Canada of Canadians standing up and saying, hell no. This is the new Canada. The old Canada, there's nothing we can do about it. And to a certain extent, that's that same old Canuck attitude, lazy attitude still exists. But things are ramping up. My question is, will the Yellow Vest movement of Canada stand with the workers of General Motors? Will they stand with the workers who are being abused by this foreign company? Because there have been rumors now that the Yellow Vest movement of Canada is being corrupted by big money, corporations, neocon interests. And I want to say to anybody who is involved with the Yellow Vest movement of Canada, not the Yellow Vest movement of Europe. They're great. They're rocking. They're great. They're a people who they're not corrupted by any money. They're not corrupted by any government. They're completely grassroots. Well, my message is to the Yellow Vest movement of Canada. Are you going to send your men, your women, your troops out to Durham and form a protest? Because if you don't do it, Arana Nation most certainly will. We will stand with the workers of General Motors. We will stand with the union members, not the bosses, because they have their own problems too. The union members who have worked for GM, who have toiled for GM, who have slaved over GM, and who have not made enough money under GM, only for GM to now say, we're going to go move to Mexico for cheaper labor, and we're going to abuse a bunch of Mexicans and give them a bunch of pennies for them to work even longer hours. We're not going to allow that. And if Yellow Vest movement doesn't do it, Arana Nation most certainly will. And we'll also stand in solidarity with the workers of Alberta as well. But since we're talking about General Motors, and since Ontario is my home, and since Ontario holds a very, very special place in my heart, and so does Oshawa, where I was born, and I know the people there. It's my home. I love it. This is my community. It holds a special place in my heart. I'm saying that if the workers of General Motors don't get any help from the Yellow Vest movement or from their federal government, Arana Nation, with the little resources we have, will speak out and continue to speak out for the people who are fighting the decision made by General Motors. General Motors is not alone. I can assure you of that. And anyone who has a problem with me saying that I stand in solidarity with union members can kiss my black ass. And you can go and continue to lick the butthole of your corporatist masters. This is the Arana Nation.